Welcome to Empower Her Radio, the space for powerhouse women ready to step into their next level of abundance, purpose, and personal freedom. I'm Dr. Corey Winn, a high performance coach, doctor of physical therapy, philanthropist, and business consultant. I help ambitious women align with their highest calling, expand their wealth and impact, and create a life that feels as good as it looks. If you're a high achieving woman who's built success yet finds yourself craving more alignment, more purpose, more ease, you're in the right place. Here, we bridge the gap between ambition and fulfillment. Through transformative conversations and proven strategies, you'll gain the courage to step into the fullest expression of you. Build a powerhouse business that aligns with your expertise and divine gifts, and lead your life, both personally and professionally, with unshakable confidence, worthiness, and compassion. This is about expansion, legacy, and owning your power unapologetically. You already have everything inside of you to create a life of unlimited possibility. It's time to unlock it. Welcome to your next level. Let's dive in. This episode of Empower Her Radio with Dr. Corey Winn is brought to you by Her Quantum Rise, the private coaching experience for the woman who refuses to play small. Her Quantum Rise is where high-achieving women come to elevate their leadership, align with their deepest purpose, and unlock overflow in every area of life. This is where you shed the old paradigm, step into your highest identity, and rise with clarity, certainty, and unstoppable momentum. If you're ready to move from doing it all to leading from grounded power, if you feel the pull toward a bigger life, a bigger mission, and a bigger capacity to receive, then I would love to explore what this next level looks like for you. Book a complimentary call at www.corywin.com/free call and step into the room where your expansion becomes inevitable. Your rise starts here. Before we begin, I want to share something briefly. I'm currently opening a limited number of Her Rise private intensives, a one-day private experience for women ready for more clarity, ease, and aligned momentum. If you're feeling the pull for something more spacious and intentional, you'll find the details in the show notes. Now, let's jump into today's show. Today, I am so excited to introduce you to a beautiful friend of mine, a beautiful soul. Brittany McNeal is the founder of HerPlace. She's a longtime military spouse, a mother, and a Colorado Springs entrepreneur who has built multiple businesses while navigating constant transition and invisible labor. Her work isn't about hustle, it's about holding space specifically for women, creating a room to build, to rest, to collaborate, and to be seen. Brittany, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I love the intro. Thank you. Happy
So
to be here. Thank you for having me.
tell us all the things. How did
Sure.
you get here as a military spouse, moving all over the country? And how did we get to her place?
Yes. So my husband and I have been together for over 15 years, and we came here from Rhode Island. So we were there for about 2 years and then came here to Colorado Springs. We've been here since 2021. I landed here pregnant, out of breath, all the things. I was thinking to myself, I like literally wanted to come to Colorado Springs so bad. I wanted that to be like one of the duty stations we got. And I got here and I thought, what was I thinking? I can't breathe. There's no water, there's no nothing. And I'm a mountains girl, but I got totally spoiled living in Rhode Island. I mean, we were steps away from the beach. So got here, had my son Elijah, and just was trying to find my way again. I feel like with every duty station, there's a different story for me. When I was in Rhode Island, I did real estate. I had a great network of women around me, two specifically that Erica and Carly, that just literally held me up during a very dark time of losing my cousin Fallon. My husband was deployed during COVID, so he wasn't able to come home. So there were so many things that happened during those short 2 years that I had to grow from, I had to learn from. And then prior to that, being in Texas and really not having any network of people at all, it bounces back and forth. You go from having a solid network, which you usually gain within the 2 to 3 year mark of your station, and then you have to leave. So you get those friends and you're like, I found it, I'm good, and then you have to leave. So it was that back and forth that really was just when I got here, I thought, please not again. I cannot not have people I can depend on, rely on, just a network of some sort. So once I started figuring out I wanted to start building again and doing just DIY things, I found myself in the garage and I'm refinishing furniture and things and I'm wondering like, is this really what I want to do? It's so confusing doing this over and over again because I'm like I put so much work into this and then people don't want to pay you and I was just like maybe I should just build something. So that's when the cart and the bar came together. I started building custom collapsible bars and carts. So through that began the networking and began just meeting women that I really connected with, but I didn't feel like I was in the right space with them. Like I found a few women that I just really connected with and loved, but the space just wasn't right for me. So I presented them with this idea of doing her place and I got their thoughts and feedback and everybody was on board. So once I found that those women that I really connected with, that kind of shifted into building her place and the her place planning committee. And it's been a ride. I'm really excited. I'm able to honor my cousin Fallon with this foundation. She was a girl's girl and a true cheerleader of everyone, and my biggest cheerleader next to my mom and my dad. And I just I had to find a way to honor her, and that was through her place.
I
So
love
long answer long.
it.
Uh, that's how we
It's
got here.
perfect. Well, and it's funny because I don't even remember the original networking group that you and I met through. And just
Yes.
sitting down and talking to you, I was like, oh my gosh, I need this woman in my life
Oh, thank
because
you.
you are good to the soul and truly care about other women. And you said you wanted to create a place for other women to feel safe and feel heard. And I
Mhm.
thought, how many of us have either woman wounding or just don't have that network of people who truly care? And now that I live in the Springs, around all of you beautiful military spouses, I get a sense of like how hard it is. My husband and I
Mhm.
have moved around so many times and we're not military. And this is the first time in a long time that I've had a good network of people because we haven't ever lived around family. And
Right.
so like you got plopped here and your husband was deployed. And like you said, you can't breathe. If any of you are not at 7,000 feet with no humidity, when you
You do
grew up on
not
the
know.
East Coast, you don't know what it's like.
No.
Um, but the space that you've created for women is like no other. And I think it's so important to also know that everyone's welcome. So
Hmm.
you have Lonnie Eli and Company, which is
Yeah.
your business. How
Hmm.
have you kind of blended the two together or had one support the other, I guess?
Yes, I have blended them because I have just a natural love for hosting. And that's where the love for creating a space within Alani Eli with these interesting bars or carts. It was like I love hosting. I love an element of I need to take a picture by that, or that looks so good, or something like that. So I created these bars and carts, and then that kind of drove me into where I wanted her place to be. I wanted to be a space that people wanted to be around and people wanted to be a part of. So I just found the right women to kind of do that with. And that just expanded from then. As I painted this picture for them, they could see it, they could understand it, they realized they needed it as well and they were just backing me and it just became just kind of a tumbleweed of just things collecting and ideas and here we are not even a year out like we are not even a year yet year old and my mind is just expanding to bigger things now
It has
because
been
I yeah
so fun to watch you. I remember
Mhm.
having a conversation about
Yes.
starting the nonprofit and the
Yes.
steps. And I mean, talk about baptized by fire for both of us. I literally had
Yeah.
just done it like a month before. Um, but if I remember correctly, this was also a space to showcase military spouses and veteran women-owned businesses. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, because the transition is interesting. You kind of touched on it earlier. So when you move frequently, this is very outside the norm of how we grew up because we grew up around family. You didn't really move around. There was no moving. The concept of moving is honestly unheard. So once you leave the nest, leave this core group of people, you can't just call Aunt Michelle, Uncle Mike, anybody to go pick up Brittany from school because I'm running late today. There is no
Mhm.
concept of that. So when you move as a military spouse, that network just goes away and you don't even realize. It's almost like a shock to the system when you come to a new place. You're like, wait, I actually don't have anybody I can call right now.
Right.
Who
I
is
know
my
no
emergency
one.
who is my emergency contact? Do I
Yeah.
even know them? It's a person in my husband's
And
unit,
you
but I don't
have to
even know
have
them.
one for school.
Yes,
And it's like, who am I
yes.
going to put on this paper that I trust that I don't quite know yet?
Exactly. And I did not I don't even remember. I had an emergency recently and I did not know who I had down. And when they said the person's name, I said, thank God. That is only God, because I wouldn't have picked a better person to take care of my child in that moment. And I thought, oh my goodness, I couldn't even remember who the
Yeah.
person was. And I was just like, that is God, that is the universe telling me, I got you, because you've built this community and they have you. Because
Yeah.
I don't know, I had no clue who I had down.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's just this idea of just blending that comfortability for military spouses and veterans as well, because we step out of these careers or we step out of being a spouse and now we're lost because we haven't really figured out what we want to do. We've been supporting, and we haven't really found ourselves in that. So that was my goal as a military spouse, was not to lose myself and lose my sense of who I am, because I was a lot of things prior to being with my husband. A college graduate, very well known at my university for my work in the foundation board, all these things. I did a lot of things. I did a lot of things after graduation and then had jobs after, and then met a boy. What I say, I always say, then I met a boy, and that changed for me. But my love for creating space and hosting and wanting to just support other people maybe going through similar things never changed. It just kind of changed form in a way, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's so important to recognize that too, because I think we can get lost as moms and
Oh yeah,
spouses in the day-to-day survival. And
absolutely.
if you're not a mom right now or not yet, it is just hanging on. Some
Hmm.
days is the best you can do.
Yes.
And being surrounded by other women who recognize that and give you grace and also hold you in those seasons where you're like, everything is falling apart.
Yes.
Or I don't know who my emergency contact is. I hope it's okay.
I hope it's a person that actually exists that I put down.
Right? Or wait, did I give it somebody that moved? Oh no.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
but how do you like what is the biggest thing outside of the events and holding the events that you feel like you've been able to create to stay kind of true to yourself
Hmm.
in all of these transitions?
It's honestly just when hosting events to me is such a beautiful thing. You're creating an environment that is fun, exciting. The energy starts at the top. It starts with the planner. And I didn't even realize the effect that I had on creating spaces until recently. I've been
Mhm.
planning events for 20 years, I would say. I did it in graduation, but also in fifth grade, I was the girl who made flyers for everyone to know that when the skating rink was open, how much
Love
money
it.
you needed.
I
Like,
love
I
it.
was always making space for people to be like, yes, let's come. I will invite the whole class, pass on my little flyers. I've just always been like that. And I don't know where that comes from, but that is my true form. My true form is hosting and inviting people to my space. And that always isn't always good. Not everybody should have, that access to you. I've learned throughout my life, and that's also kept me true to myself is that I have to learn that there's boundaries sometimes with other people and that I have to stick up for myself and not always be so welcoming. But my heart is always genuine. It's always, my intention is always to make people feel safe and supported. But I hope that that's the same that I'm getting back. So,
I'm so glad that you mentioned that because we do as women just give and give and give
yes,
and give and give and then look around one day and go, wait a second, who's holding me in this space?
yes.
And
I'm
when you look
empty. Yeah.
around and there's no one, it's like, whoa, hold on.
Hmm.
And I love that you talk about boundaries because there are seasons of life where people come in and leave. And I think for a long time, I struggled with letting people go or being
Hmm.
okay with recognizing this person or this family member is not going where I'm going. That's okay. I
Yeah.
can let go with grace
Hmm.
and stay true to myself.
Yes. That is so important. And I think it's really with women in every form. It's mothers, it's entrepreneurs, it's a combination of all. When you're a wife, you tend to support, 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 and you can get lost so easily. And I feel like this space just provides an understanding of you can have your own, you can do things on your own, you can be yourself outside of partners and outside of just your norm. So I hope that when people come to our events, they feel that and they see that and they find a friend, they find a new work bestie or co-working friend or someone like that because that's what we want. That's what I want. That's what I've dreamt of it. There was never, excuse me, there was never a stranger Fallon met. My cousin Fallon loved people. And people loved her. And when she would come to like my games, my graduation, school, she'd visit me at college, people were just like, is Fallon coming? Is Fallon gonna come? Because it was just that excitement, that energy that she just gave to everyone. And for me, I thought to myself, if I could just be half of the energy that she gave, if I could just be half, a quarter, I could change so many people's lives and make them in a happier face or make them feel more welcome. She just had that energy that it's hard to replicate. There's no one that I've ever met like her.
Well, and I hope that you know that you have created that space. I didn't
Thank
know
you.
Fallon. I have heard you speak about her and
Mhm.
as her be the inspiration for her place.
Yes.
But you do. I hope you know that you do create those spaces for women.
Thank you.
I brought my daughter to your event over this summer and she still talks about it. We have one of those
Oh,
like digital picture frame things and
yes.
the photo booth picture like pops up.
Yes.
She's like, "Mommy, that was so fun. Can we go back?" And I'm like, "Well,
I
yes,
love
and
that. Yes, I love
like
that.
it's not something
And
that happens like every weekend."
that's huge, though. That is huge to know that, because that's where it starts. My mom taught me very young that you can create. I was always doing something with my hands, painting pottery, making the beaded keychains we used to have, like all
Oh,
the things. I would sell those to her coworkers, and so I always had this entrepreneur spirit, and this just wanting to be creative. So that just kind of blended into the hosting and the curating spaces. So I just love that that's starting early for her because that just gives you so much confidence in who you are and just being able to be with yourself and be happy with that.
well, and I think too, creating a space that's safe for women when, she's in the throes of elementary school with mean girls and
Yes, such a
learning
real
to
thing.
navigate social relationships and know that it's okay to leave this space if you aren't valued in that moment
Yes.
and to move into a place that you are. Because
Yes.
how many of us have been told throughout our life that we didn't have value to offer or
Mm-hmm.
that we didn't belong or we weren't welcome.
Mm-hmm.
So how, I'm that person who typically walks into a room of other women, deer caught in the headlights, scared to death.
Yes.
What do you tell that woman? Because she's going to show up at her place this
Oh
weekend. Or
yeah.
she's going to show up at your next event.
Absolutely.
Obviously, very welcomed when she comes in, but you know, thank God for people like you who've pulled me out of my shell because otherwise I'm the person that stands on the wall like,
Oh, I love to hear that. I truly do. I would tell her, shake it off, get it off of you right now. Because I've been in a lot of spaces where I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't start going to events by myself until 2 years ago.
Mhm.
I wouldn't go in anywhere since I was a young girl. Wouldn't go into any door without somebody. I would cling to my mother. So for me, I would just tell her to shake it off. I actually did that before I did a pitch for couples who care. I was so rattled.
Mhm.
It was a number of things. I mean, all these people are here. They want to support your nonprofit, but you don't know like who's in the room, who are you up against, what nonprofit is over there about to speak. And I went first and I was rattled, literally to the point where Alonzo came around and said, "You're going to be fine."
Yeah.
And this woman next to me, Tara, I love her. She was like, "You're going to be fine. I don't know you. I've never met you, but I can see that you're like focused on your notes. Just tell us. Just tell us."
Mhm.
And I got up there and I said, I have to get this off of me because I am so nervous right now. And I'm just going to shake it off. And now we can start. Because that right there, that motion of just like literally dusting yourself off helps you. It helps you to be like, I'm a normal human being.
Mhm.
This is intimidating. It's not easy to walk into a room for entrepreneurs or people you've seen online and never met.
Right.
I've done it and I'm like scared out of my mind. I've blogged for years and I would meet like my inspirations in person. And I would think, oh my goodness, I'm just beneath her, or I'm not as good as her. And she is the same, she is a whole human being.
Yes. And what I found when you hold that energy and when you are following those incredible women, you find yourself in their spaces and
Hmm.
you say, "Oh my gosh, when you said such and such, that really hit me." And they look at you and they care
Yes.
because they were you. We were you. I mean,
Mhm.
when I first started a podcast, it was like, who's going to listen to me? Who cares? And
Yeah.
now it's so fun. And so I hope our listeners also hear today that you can do it scared.
Hmm.
You are qualified. You have
Yes.
value to offer. You are welcome in these rooms. And if you find yourself in a space where you're not, change rooms.
Yes.
I have
Time.
a mentor
Check out.
who said something to me a couple of years ago that has always stayed with me. She said, "Corey, you've been trying to fit yourself into rooms that didn't appreciate you your entire life. It's time for you to change rooms." And I was like,
Hmm.
wow. And
Hmm.
I've never forgotten that.
So impactful.
Yeah.
It's so impactful.
So tell us a little bit about more specifically her place. You were talking
Sure.
about a new co-working buddy, a new, bestie. What should a woman who steps into her place expect when she walks through the door?
Sure. So at our events, we're always going to be mixing and mingling in the beginning because, like I said, those jitters can be shaken off of you once you get in. You see somebody you may know, you see somebody you connect with. There's always somebody that said, "Well, I actually met her before," or "I knew of her." And so creating that space where people are just naturally welcome. We're not sitting there, with our pencils and pens ready to just jot down the world. No, we're just coming in, we're relaxed. The energy you will feel is very, very calm and very relaxed and very welcoming. So that's number one. Always want to feel that. And then walking away, we always leave time for just open discussion after we've done, the overall meat and potatoes, as they say, of the event. Then there's time to just say, wow, I learned this. Oh, you learned that? Well, I was thinking about this and I can do this. There has to be room for collaboration and time to sit and kind of take in and digest what we've done. So I think with the brand lab that we're hosting tomorrow, which I'm super excited about, I'm super excited that you're coming. With that event, it's going to be just so fun because the way it's set up is to be able to actually make content in real time. We learn the tools and then we create the content. And it's going to be, everyone's going to be moving around, learning different things, finding out angles, lighting, things like that. that maybe just weren't that obvious to you. And you'll be working in real time. That's the power of it, is working in real time, not taking the notes and then going home flustered. Okay, let's do what she said to do. Like, no, we're doing it right now. So you're
Yep.
going to walk away with content and an idea of what to do with that content, how to repurpose that content, how to make it multiple different things. So that is the beauty in our events. I don't want you to just walk away with maybe a new friend. I want you to walk away with skills, a contact, a new friend. Like there's more, at least four things new in your brain and in your mind that you're ready to tackle because you came to a HerPlace event and you learned X, Y, and Z.
I love that. How have you been able to build all of this and create this space without burning yourself out and
Mhm.
without, and helping the other women that you work with do the same?
I haven't. Last year, I burnt myself out. I burnt myself out to the point where my body said, okay, if you're not going to sit down, I'm going to sit you down. And that's what happened come December. And I was exhausted and I didn't even realize how much I had done
Mhm.
because I was just doing what my mind and my spirit was telling me to do. I wanted this to be real. I wanted this dream that I was having over and over again for years to be real. So I did whatever it took. I talked to everyone in this city that I could get a hold of about this event. So for me, I had to learn the hard way. So now after December, I realized that there's so much power in being still and waking up and starting your day slower, not jumping up and getting on the computer, not jumping up and getting on your phone. I literally sit on the edge of my bed and I roll my wrists, I roll my legs, I get, or my ankles, excuse me, my ankles, and I just get myself, I slowly get out of the bed. And then I try to have that time at least 20 minutes before my kids are up. And that's at 5:20 to like at least have 20 minutes, 30 minutes to myself. And that includes or is a mixture of journaling, stretching, and just getting my head around what I have to do for the day. And that silence has done wonders for me, aside from, starting with warm lemon water, celery juice, and all the things, because things have just changed for me. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and everything is now kind of flipped on the other side. I have to be more still, and all the things that I was doing last year won't work. I won't be able to sustain that.
I'm so glad for your transparency
Mhm.
because, for one, women need to know it. And two, I did the
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah,
December came crashing, or well, maybe the end of January came crashing
yeah.
down because we want, as women, we want to succeed. We
Hmm.
want to create something beautiful.
Absolutely.
And I think it's so important for our listeners to hear the honesty of, yes, you've created something beautiful,
Hmm.
and it's okay to not run full steam ahead all the time.
Yeah.
You have to take care of yourself. And
Hmm.
I think a lot of us entrepreneurs who are high achieving women have
Hmm.
had that happen. We've
Yes.
gone and gone and gone and gone and gone, and then full stop,
Yep.
you're done now.
Hmm.
And having that honesty with each other, having that
Yeah.
honesty on here for our listeners, to
Absolutely.
hope that maybe they can put the brakes on before that happens. Because
Yeah.
we don't have it all figured out yet.
We don't. We don't. And I never thought in a million years that it would happen to me. Like I just didn't. I've seen people talk about burnout. I've seen people who said, I did, I passed out or this happened. I literally passed out. I passed out at my child's school at pickup.
Mhm.
And I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was done. I was face down, could not move my body. And in that moment, I thought, oh, why is this happening? Like, I can't. But I had jumped up and ran to go get him, ran from the car to his classroom, hadn't really ate a lot, drank minimal water, had just gotten off a plane that night before from across the country. So it was so many factors in that that was a recipe for disaster for anyone. And not even and someone who has not stopped since March of that previous or that year, it's time to sit down. So it was very, very just eye-opening, and at the same time it was eye-opening, and it was a wake-up call. And I'm glad it was something that I could recover from, learn from, and it wasn't something lifelong, not lifelong. It wasn't something that was gonna stay with me for the rest of my life,
Right.
but it taught
Right.
me a huge lesson, and in that sense, it will stay with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Well, and I heard a woman, Dr. Melanie Gray, say this a few weeks ago. She said, schedule yourself in your calendar and don't move it. And that's
Yes,
what
I
I'm
did see
hearing
that.
you say right now. And I think our audience also needs to hear like sometimes you waking up early in the morning is not an option. I tried getting up
Yeah.
extra early and that doesn't work for me. And that's okay. You know,
Hmm.
Brittany and I are giving you the permission to figure out what works for you. And
Hmm.
it might take a little while. You know,
Yes, it
there's
took a
things that
long
I
time.
enjoy doing that I'm recognizing now don't actually fill my cup. You know,
Hmm.
they're fun, but I need to actually like get outside and get in the sunshine and get
Yes.
away from things. As much as I love to sit and read, my cup isn't filled when I'm finished. So
Hmm.
I love that. Do you have, so I know this is gonna post actually after your coming up event. Do you have
Yes.
anything like on the horizon that we can talk
Yes.
about, let people know about?
Absolutely. I have March 19th at Meraki Springs. We're doing a networking event,
Yay.
completely free to attend. We'll be just, it'd be very low key, very much like our holiday mixer. Come in, you can shop the store. She has custom hats that you can do, trucker hats, and just a felt, very beautiful brimmed hat that you can make. Add all the things you would like to it. It's so fun. She is home to over, I believe, 30 different artists. So lots of different local artists that have their art in her store. So we'll be able to learn about a lot of artists that are local to Colorado Springs and get to know Megan Morris a little bit better. But she is an amazing friend, and I really just enjoy coming into her shop. And she just moved further down in Old Colorado City, so she's right in the mix, and she's doing great. So I'm excited to have that event. So that is March 19th from 6 to 8. And
I'll make sure that
then
all the information is in the show notes for that event.
yes, I will send you all the things. And then we have Her Place Market coming back September 12th. So
That.
that is going to be great. I'm just trying to focus on two events. That's really hard for me, but that is the goal because we have a lot of things we want to do. So, in order to do those things, there has to be strategic planning and just an understanding of where we go step by step.
Right. I love that.
Hello. Potty. Great.
I just wanted to pop in really quick at the end of the show because I love Brittany and all the things, and I hope that the moms out here hear we're also momming. So the fact that her cute little boy came in and said, "Mommy, I need to go potty," that's life. We're moms and entrepreneurs. We're executives. We're doing things and life happens. So give yourself grace if you're in the middle of a Zoom meeting and you're like, "Oh, my kid just came in," because it's beautiful and we love you. And I also just wanted to take a second to reiterate the events that she was talking about. So the networking mixer at Meraki Springs is Thursday, March 19th. And then her place vendor market is in September. So be sure to follow Brittany at her place by LE on Instagram and be in the know for all things that happen at her place because it's really, really incredible. As we close out today's episode, I want to leave you with this. Your next level is already within you. If you're feeling that pull for more clarity, more alignment, and more courage to step fully into who you're meant to be, this is your invitation to take the next step. Whether you're an entrepreneur ready to scale or a woman standing at the edge of something bigger, the path forward starts with trusting your desires, owning your worth, and leading with your inner knowing. This is exactly what I offer: private VIP coaching, and where I guide women inside the 10K Club and 50K Club through consulting with She Sells and Superhuman Selling to help you gain clarity, step into aligned action, and build a life and business that reflects your highest vision. If you're ready to explore what's next, let's have a conversation. Book a free call now at www.corywinn.com/free call. I can't wait to connect with you. Talk soon.